How long do you plan on skating for?
How long have I been skating for?
How long do you plan on skating?
Until I die.
What was the point where you first got into skateboards, all that stuff?
I was 9 years old. I was in my cousin's room and they had a magazine called Skateboarder. And there was like Lonnie Toff, Jay Adams, guys like that, and they were just on these little boards and just in backyard pool skating. It was just cool. And instead of like, you know, thinking that was cool, I just wanted to be a part of it. So as through the time of skating, you know, my dream was always just kind of hang out and meet these guys in the magazines and ride for Alva. And through all that, as I was hanging out as a kid, going through life, kind of just tearing up everything that came in my sight, I gave this guy a call and he answered the phone. He said he was a team captain. His name was Dave Duncan. And he told me how to get on Alva. So I did what he did. And then like a year later, he calls me and says, hey, secretary needs a roommate. And I was like, yeah. And he said, dude, if you really want to do this, you gotta jump now. So that's how it all started for me. And I headed out west.
Did both of them, bro. Thought I was only gonna do one.
Yeah, those are classics. Named Chopper. Same style, 15 years.
A year living in California, next thing you know, I'm living with Tony Alva and his wife Victoria at the time. And we had a ramp in our backyard. And from there on, everybody in San Clemente would call us and you'd have to be, you know, invited to skate. And that's how it all went. I ended up just hanging out and living with TA because I, you know, really didn't really have a place to stay, and he said, hey, you can stay in the garage. It's all padded up, there's an outdoor shower. Stay here, $25 a week. So I was like, damn, I'm down, dude. Okay. So that's what I did. My whole dream in life really pretty much was just to ride a pool with some of the Alva guys. Over the time, you know, I got to ride with like Eddie Radegui, Dave Duncan, Jeff Hartzell, JT, you know, Chris Cook, and then, you know, live with TA for, you know, 2 years and ride, you know, multiple pools. I think, man, in 1 year we covered almost over 100, I think it was 150 pools or something like that.
Okay, I want to go back because you just mentioned you were blind. You had your doctor told you couldn't skate because you were blind. How'd you went blind in your left eye or which eye?
In my left eye. When I was 2 years old, I fell down a flight of stairs on a plastic three-wheeler and the handle grip came off. And it had cut my pupil, which is still my real eye. I just don't have no pupil there. But as it did so much damage, and by the time they got me to the hospital, they really couldn't save the actual pupil part for me to see. So I spent probably about from 2 years old until 4.5 in and out of hospitals, doctors poking at me and stuff. And then they told me that, you know, I wouldn't be able to play sports because as you have one eye, you're, you know, just knowing that anything can happen to you and your eye could be taken out or something. So, and I didn't wear glasses back then. And, you know, he said the only sport I could do was swimming. Well, I tried that out, and that really wasn't for me. And so as I did this, I just did it, and it came naturally. And something that either you have it or you don't, and either you have style or you don't.
You said you had a run-in at one time when you guys were skating and stuff with the Ice Cube and all those guys.
Well, what happened was in Venice Beach, Ice-T was there before, and kicking it right when he was coming up, and when Colors came out, and his Kang was on. And, you know, got to sit there and chat with him, and he shot me some knowledge and stuff, which was cool. But then, like, TA's wife did the song for Ice Cube off America's Most Wanted. I think it was Humpty Dumpty Set on a Wall or whatever it was.
Once upon a time in the black part of the city.
Yo, G, you better get out of here, man. 5-0.
So therefore, they come down and eat at TA's house, O'Shea Jackson and stuff. And them people, man, they thought we were some crazy white guys at the time. They give us the lynch mob shirts. And, you know, of course, Tony Elbow, man, he's just a legend himself and an icon. I remember, you know, driving down, listening to some Ice Cube and stuff. It was cool. And to be that part of the time in that era, you know, I was 21, my prime. It was really cool stuff, man.
So it was a really cool experience for me. And then, you know, at that time, Elbow was going through the little fault and ATM was starting their thing up, and we were doing some boards out the garage and just wasn't flowing for me. And I know like Christian Fletcher, this dude who was a pro surfer, and Christian Hosoi, they had, you know, Hosoi skate culture. And
moving right along, let's find out what's on the mind of Christian Hosoi. Hey Christian, what's up?
How's it going, Taters?
Good, good. How you doing?
All right.
Christian, tell us about your skateboard company and what you're doing with it these days.
they offered me some boards and some money at the time, man, and I took it and I ran with it and had fun with it. I remember like one time Christian Fletcher, man, you know, the baddest pro surfer ever, man, coolest dude, man.
San Clemente's Christian Fletcher is a new age surf maniac who constantly dreams up new moves for his heavy metal surf attack. Not one to follow others, Christian would rather experiment for himself and try things differently. Airborne and electric, Christian makes a statement wherever he goes.
You know, I got his tattoo right on here, but I punked it out myself. I've never met someone so wild like him, man. The Fletcher people, man, they were just wild, and man, and his whole thing was, man, I'm the shit, man, and that's just what I am.
I didn't really fit the image of a surfer. I was more into different music, and I was into riding a skateboard and staying up late and partying and stuff like that, and coming to the beach with no sleep and stuff, and they weren't too hip to that type of stuff.
I remember like going everywhere with him. We get free tacos, free food, free beer, and then I got some boards floated from Dogtown. And then, you know, when you turn like 28 and stuff, people don't really want to give you too much, and so then that's when we started up our own skateboard company called Party Boy Skateboards.
Party Boy Skateboards comes from Chopper's brother, Sean. Sean always used to call Chopper Party Boy. And of course we know why we're doing this is because Chopper skates. So Party Boy Skateboards is what it kind of, Chopper ran with that. Chopper was always known to Sean, when they were roommates living together, his brother, he always calls him Party Boy. Party Boy, Party Boy.
So Chopper sponsored one of my good friends when we were like 13, and I was extremely jealous, and I knew the whole team, and like I rode with them very frequently, and so it was just like, all right, like I gotta like do something to get this man to notice me. Back then the team was Steve Anderson, Scotty Bailey, and Ryan Carrillo. And Ryan Carrillo and Scotty Bailey were like the most OG, like shredder, like we don't care what's going on, like this is what we're gonna do and this is how we're gonna live. And so got to know those guys super cool, but introducing them to my parents was a very interesting ordeal because they were very much hardcore, hood rich, like skateboarders.
So Rillo, were you the one who's hood rich?
Yeah, always, man. I came up with it.
Did you start that hashtag, hood rich?
I started it, man. I tattooed on myself and my buddy.
We've got popcorn, candy.
What's it mean to be
It means you can be broke, have like $5 in your pocket, but good friends and skateboard, just have a good time. You're richer than any man in the world.
All the people who write our stuff, Stevie, everybody out there that support us, we really appreciate it. I just believe that, you know, in my heart and in my soul, man, dude, this is what it is, man. I've been punk rock, man, ever since, man, I was scarred at the age of 2. And through that, you know, I've lived so much crazy life that I probably shouldn't be here. Life is good.
Now this is 2015. That was 1991 and I'm still here. And I want to give a big shout out to Dave Duncan for answering that call one day. I made that call and telling me how to take all this opportunities to make a possibility and just go with the flow and, you know, conquer my dream, let alone Alva for showing me all the respect of taking me everywhere like a son, showing me all the people that's in and out of the game, from the business to the actual skaters, and, you know, opportunities to meet like Christian Fletcher and all these other cats that, you know, became part of my life and just made it really, really happen.
And so I just want to give a big thanks to all the people who I've made a path through in life with, good or bad, but it was a blessing, and Alva was a blessing to show me the biggest opportunity in my life was just to live it, be who you are, be an individual, be punk rock, stay true to the game, and that's it.
It's just constant carving and going and finding lines where there's not. And even when I stalled like kind up there and stopped, I could have went back in. It's just how long can you go? But it's all good, I love it. It's like the best workout ever. And then like going to grind that coping and your will grabs you and you're supposed to fall, but you ride it out because you feel like you're like just as high as you can be in life, man, and you're just like, ah. That's the best feeling. That right there, no matter how much money I got, that shit didn't mean nothing compared to that right there. And that's what it's all about.
Who's your favorite rider on Party Boy? You? All right. Not Miles? Rello? Johnny? You? Okay. Not Johnny. Okay. Not Rello. What about Riff Worm? Grayson. Yep. That's cool, man. Can you give him this? Can you give the camera peace? Not Jake? Not Jake? Grayson? Peace. And then, you know, like Grind King, you know, I remember like, are we filming right now?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. And this is a shout out to my fiance Jennifer Carroll. She's dealt with me for the last 6 years. She did a lot of cool things for me. She's dealt with me. That's just crazy enough as it is. Gave me a beautiful son, Grayson. I have 3 other siblings that are 2 daughters and a son, Kaylee, Devin, Ashlyn. They've been a part of my life for the last 6 years. I know they think I'm crazy, it is, but they're probably just as crazy as me because they deal with me. So shout out to them, and then shout out to the Lord for making everything happen. 2015, great year. We're looking to a better year for 2016 and hope everybody loves this. Thank you, God bless.
This is Tina, the coolest person in the world.
Tina, nice to meet you.
2 mics tonight, right?
Yes,
Yep.
please. Sit there.
Price depends on.
That's the man that makes everything happen for all the Party Boy rules. This guy, man, slays Party Boy rules. He is the man. How long we been doing Party Boy rules? 6 years? 6 years now, right? About 6 years? Yep.
Get right on me now. You gotta get right up here. You gotta get right up here. This is the end result that we never thought we'd see. Another chopper in the making. The next generation. Boo!